Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Tim Thurber.
Hey, y'all.
Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
And this is State of Atlanta.
All right.
Caught you off guard. It worked.
Oh, man, I forgot that. I forgot the
You people, is this what you planned while you were waiting on me?
We wanted to see how much it would throw you off, but I think it threw me off more.
It's probably that drink that you got.
You're programmed to say it a certain way, and you can't revert from it.
Pretty much. Welcome back, guys. How was your week?
Oh, just jam-packed full of stuff. It's great. I feel like we're back.
Yes, especially with football coming up.
Yeah.
This week. I mean, spring game, but we got something coming up this week.
It's like 130-something days, right, to real football?
Yeah, I keep on checking, doing the little math and figuring out how many days it is to bring it up in conversation. But I'm like, that seems so far away. I don't want to talk about 135 days.
That'll speed right on by. It's okay.
137 days per the NCAA. There you go. Can't wait.
Are there week 0 games this year, or do they nix those?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, which is, I think, a weird way to phrase it, but whatever.
I stopped paying attention to most other football other than Georgia State.
Oh, I do as well, but then I'll put on ESPN or something for background noise, which really ESPN is just good for noise anyways.
Yeah. That's what. So Georgia games that do not conflict with Georgia State games now get watched, but only while I'm playing video games or something. like it's a side thing.
Right. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I wish we had more fans that felt that way, because you actually switched from being a lifelong UGA fan from family, living in Athens as well. Yep. So if we could get other fans. I mean, I just want people that went to our school to acknowledge that we have a football team and support it. Whether or not, I don't expect someone to drop their lifelong team, but they should at least support the school they went to. Yeah. I mean, watch the games, cheer for them, listen to podcasts about it, become Patreon members, and buy our merchandise. That's all I'm asking for, really.
I asked my little brother if he listens to us, and he said no. And I'm like, dude, you suck.
He needs to be our man on the inside to start getting the students to start listening to this.
He might. No, he won't do that.
Oh,
sorry.
What will he not do?
No, he's just he's very ambivalent to things in general that aren't anime. And so, what are you gonna do?
Well, tell him that we'll talk about Georgia State's anime football team.
Be like, we're gonna show Naruto on the big screen, and you can watch that. And he'll be like, really? And I'll be like, no, dummy. Why would that happen?
Speaking of football, not anime, not really paying attention to the FCS, although someone tweeted something about Ccsa losing to Monmouth.
I swear to God,
weekend.
I know that we talked about all picking a team and kind of just following them throughout the season. We forgot to do that week 1. And honestly, until you said that, I forgot that FCS was still playing football right now.
There was somebody close to home cancel the rest of their season, like Mercer or something? I feel like that popped up and I was like, what season? What's happening right now? Oh, there's football. Weird.
I got it. We should go for the FCS playoffs. We'll pick our team in there.
No.
No respect.
I have caught a few downs of play just on ESPN or whatever it's on. I've seen something on and just been like, okay, I'll put it on, and then I watch for a few seconds. But oh yeah, that's why FCS sucks. Because
we could do a bracket and not have to watch football. We wouldn't have to watch FCS football. We would just
look at the scores.
We just look at the score. Yeah, it'd be just like me and March Madness.
No, I think you should actually get all the FCS tournament games on your TV over there, and we all come over, have a huge house party. And watch that, and then watch your anime Naruto, that show too.
And then shit in your toilet.
Tim, do you have something to tell us? Are you now a Coastal Carolina fan?
I thought that's what you do at your house. You take a dump.
That's what I do.
No, that's what Coastal Carolina people do. They take dumps in other people's house.
And myself.
David, I've known you for a long time. You may have changed one of my kids' diapers at some point. I don't think so, but it's possible. And so, you can poop at my house.
I'm sure you've pooped in mine. It's okay.
You have a poop pass.
Oh man, I have. Yeah, I have.
I think I remember when we were doing this in my basement. Sorry, the State of Atlanta studios. You came over once, and before we got started, like, oh well, I got to go drop some kids off before we get that. Before we start.
Well, and that's the one I thought of immediately, and that was like poop of the decade. Like there was no stopping it, and so I had to. There was no other option.
Well, enough shit talk. The Panthers.
You want to talk about poop more?
You don't want to talk about poop again?
You don't think people want to tune in to listen to us talk about poop?
What was it 2 weeks ago with our all brown, all in episode? Yeah.
All right, I'll let you change the subject.
I will say about the Ccsa game that I actually thought they had lost in the first round of playoffs, and then I went back to it and realized they just lost in the Big South Championship game or something to Monmouth.
I really had no idea they were even in that conference.
I didn't know either.
FCS.
Until the tweet. I don't even know how it got on my feed.
Probably somebody you follow liked it. That's what I find out. I don't want. Anyhow. It was not a good week for the Panthers. Baseball just lost to UGA just a few minutes ago, bringing our overall record 6-10 on the week across all sports. So not a good week, but men's tennis continues to their win streak. Beach volleyball, still doing their thing. But I guess the big thing to talk about this week is what we said earlier, the spring game. We got some football at Center Park Stadium. Excited about it?
I am. I'm super excited about it. Words can't describe how excited I am.
Apparently not.
No, I got a little distracted there, but also I'm really excited about what we're gonna do beforehand. What the plan is. I have to find childcare, but other than that, I'm going to. So
yeah. My childcare will not be getting there as early as I want them to, but I hope to be down there in Summerhill shortly after 4:30. I was hoping for a little bit earlier, but we'll see, and do our little Panther pub prowl, making our way to the stadium for the game. How about you, Tim? When are you going to get down there?
I'm hoping to leave around 4 or 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that really means like 5:45.
So the thing is, we have the alumni football game at 5:15, but I've heard nothing about that since the original announcement. Like there's no rosters being named or anything like that at all. So I'm
wondering, you're going to get here at 4:30 and want to be at the stadium at 5:15? That's not.
No,
I'm
saying that's what time the alumni flag football tournament or game starts. I'm not saying that's what time I want to be there.
That's not going to work.
Nah, I feel like we got to hit up. What do we have? We have 5 different places we can hit up between your place or Woods Chapel and the stadium.
Yeah, I think
something like that.
We got Woods, Halfway Crooks. I can always never remember.
Junior's Pizza.
Junior's Pizza.
Hot Dog Pete's.
Hot Dog Pete's.
Hot Dog Pete's. The Hero Donuts will be closed by then. And there's one.
I can't tell if Maypole's open, and I don't know if they have beer. So
not quite yet. And Little Bear has beer too, and cocktails if someone wants a cocktail.
Do they have beer? I thought they only had cocktails.
I think they have beer too. I think I saw it on their menu last week when we were talking. I'm pretty excited about going. Like for you guys, you've been to the stadium. I looked and I hadn't been there since November 23rd, 2019.
Nothing's changed, Tim. It's all the same. It's all the same.
The big board on the backside of the Jumbotron is now a huge Center Park billboard
logo. Yeah.
So Tim, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like I've never been there before. I can feel it.
So meet at Woods Chapel as early as possible and just make our way.
Yeah.
And it's Friday, so it'll be Burger Day at Woods Chapel. I might get one of those burgers.
Maybe get one and just like munch on it along the way.
It's not a walk and eat burger. It's a
little sloppy. Yeah.
It's just sit down and reappraise your thoughts in your life. Like, where did I go wrong in life eating this burger right now?
Figure out how you can go right and eat it every day.
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good. I guess there's not much to say about it. We've talked about spring game for the past 3 weeks. I guess they're doing teams a little bit differently this week or this year. They're going to have like old schoolyard rules where they had captains that all picked players versus doing like a first string versus second string type deal. That should be interesting.
Nice.
Could be a little fun.
How many players? Do we know how many players signed up?
No, I'm talking about the spring game.
The real game.
Oh, rad. Cool.
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying with the alumni game is that really hasn't been anything about that. They've not announced any players. And not announcing players either means that it's people that didn't get a lot of playing time originally, or it's not happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It'd be a select few people they would put on a promotional material and stuff. So I bet you're right. I bet it's not going to be very exciting. No offense. No offense.
No, I mean, but definitely it'll still be good. The thing that I'm looking forward the most, like you said about getting together beforehand, but also just being in the stadium, seeing all the other Panther fans out there, and because our fan base is so small, you pretty much know or at least recognize almost everybody that's there.
Yeah, especially the diehards that show up to that kind of thing.
Right. Exactly. So, speaking also on the football front, ESPN put out yesterday, something like that. They're like off-season preview. They've been going through all the different divisions of college football. The Sun Belt East was the most recent one that came up. So it's kind of the same rankings that we already have seen. Where
we're number one though, right?
And absolutely number one, right?
Overall.
In everyone's hearts and minds, absolutely. But according to ESPN, I guess they're using their like the little SP Plus thingy or whatever.
What is that?
I don't know.
Tim, do you know what that is?
What?
ESPN the SP Plus thing that they, I saw those and I was like, well, looks like maybe less is bad and more is good, but I don't know why.
I don't actually know what it is, to be honest.
Okay,
I don't have ESPN Plus. I don't have ESPN Plus right now because, there's no reason.
And if you knew what it was, then you'd not be allowed on the show because we're supposed to be a bunch of guys that have no idea what's going on about anything.
Well, to be honest, I'm really curious. I hope Tim knew because I just didn't want to look it up. I wanted him to just know and tell me.
Oh, well, now you can ignore the next 5 minutes of the conversation while you look it up and read about it.
I'm not doing that.
Okay. Anyhow, what I was trying to say was
it's very interesting.
It's the same rankings you've seen before. It was App, Coastal, Troy, Georgia State, and then the Trash Down South coming in last place. But then now they went through and they actually gave some descriptions, some reviews, what to expect, whatever.
I was impressed with the level of detail and some of the history that they went through. I thought they did a good job covering, sort of what the situation is here.
I think the best part is they put Southern at the bottom of the East.
Yeah, well, that's where they belong.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. So, Georgia Southern being in the basement of the East just makes every 40-year-old living in his parents' basement feel worse about themselves.
I mean, their blood has got to be boiling down there. They hate reading shit like that.
Especially anything where they're behind us as well. But yeah, and
I think you could have. You think you added a couple more words to that sentence than you needed to. They just hate reading.
Well, they don't know how to. Is what it comes down to.
And one of the
best parts of it, this article even opened up with some digs at Southern. It was great. It said the worst team in the Sun Belt East, in this case, Georgia Southern, would be the best team or the second best team in the West.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Louisiana gets a lot of love. Man, did I just do that? I did. Louisville is getting a lot of love, right?
Yeah, there was actually they've already done their Sun Belt West preview thing like this, and so I went and looked at it. And I went and looked at the guy and see if he actually went to Lafayette because he was just stroking them big time. First of all, he
not from downtown.
Yes, he gives us a better shot at beating Auburn than beating Lafayette. I mean, it's by 1 point, but still.
That was my first comment when you sent that article over. That's like my first thing that I saw that I thought was relevant to say something. I was like, Jesus.
Well, in his little Lafayette preview thing, he's like, they lead the country in returning production, which to me just means they had absolutely nobody that was good enough to go pro. So that's not really that good of a thing.
No, it's COVID stuff. So they lead the country because they had more seniors that just didn't go anywhere.
Oh, no, I understand.
Like number 2.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if there was somebody a senior on that team that was good enough to make the NFL, they would have gone. So it means there's nobody leaving there for the next level of football.
Just be careful because we are like number 2, so we're like right behind them in returning players.
You give me. I don't know why I'm getting a pin up like I'm Lee Corso or something.
Let me have it, David.
You keep on telling me every single week that we're supposed to be pro Georgia State. So I'm trying to be talking down about our opponents, and you're just trying to bring us right down there with them.
Well, I'm a contrarian by nature, and I just like giving you shit. So
that's also true. But they said
how many players are they returning versus us? Like how close are we?
My research did not dive that far in. I just copied the quote from.
We're just number 2.
I'm totally making this up. It sounds vaguely familiar in my head, and I believe they're returning like 11, and we're returning like 10.
We're returning more than that.
I don't know. Seniors.
You know, we're returning like more than that on the offensive like side of the ball. Period.
Seniors. We didn't have.
I understand the words coming out of your mouth.
I know we didn't have a lot of seniors.
Did we not?
Especially the starters. We didn't have most of our starters were not seniors.
Well, maybe that's what I remember is them saying returning so many people.
That was another thing they added was that we had a very young team last year and still showed a lot of promise and showed out at the end of the season there. So
we nearly beat Lafayette coming off of their
should have beat Lafayette.
Their Iowa State win. We absolutely should have. So I don't understand, and I get it. A win is a win, a loss is a loss. I'm not saying woulda, shoulda, coulda, but I'm saying when these two teams matched up, and if we're both returning all those exact same players, I would not give us a 14% chance of winning that game. I'd give us a much higher chance of winning that game.
Probably
that should be in the toss-up section, which they did break games out and should win toss-ups and likely will lose. But
what's our likely will lose list? I was curious. Other than North Carolina,
our likely will lose list is actually pretty deep. App State, Coastal, Auburn, Lafayette, and North Carolina.
They also, I noticed, gave Coastal quite a bit of love, talking about how fun it was to watch them last year. And I'm like, I only saw one game, and it wasn't very fun.
Well, I mean, I would have to agree from an outsider's perspective. I'm sure it was fun watching Coastal. Like, if they were not in our division, if they were some other random team, I would have enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
But we played them, and they smoked us out of our own home.
Yeah.
But, it was exciting. But we were talking about this in our private group chat just before this. Like, they're not going to repeat. Coastal will. I know they're returning a lot of people, and they had a quarterback that could potentially go pro. But or transfer. I think the concern was him transferring out, not going pro, but transferring out. They're not going to come back. They'll be good. They're not going to be, running
Coastal good.
Yeah, Coastal.
It's not going to be last year good, right? They're not going to go through that gauntlet.
They beat a lot of teams that had COVID. Yay, lucky for you. Wait till everybody's healthy.
They played good football, man. I mean, they were a really good team.
Swear to God, Ryan, I have no idea which way to go with you, man. Whatever I say.
I will say that there's no chance in hell that they blank us or score 52.
I was gonna say, to talk good about us, you have to talk good about them because they dominated us. I mean, they killed us. You have to say they were a good team. If they're a sucky team, then a sucky team beat us like that.
I'm not saying they're a sucky team. They were definitely a great team last year. They did everything right. The ball bounced their way several times.
That's true.
If there's a GSU Ingot moment, it was that entire Saturday afternoon.
There was a field goal that we hit the freaking like that first.
That
was like the first 5 minutes of the game. Yeah, and we.
Yeah, that actually brings up another point. Like in the article, they talked about how strong the East is, and they actually said that from top to bottom, the Sun Belt East is probably the best division in G5 football, like just as far as competitiveness and ability. So
nice.
As you guys know, I have no love whatsoever to offer this conference. Is being in the most competitive G5 division something to beat our chests about?
Wait. Is that the word they used? Competitive?
Let me see.
Because that just means we're all in equal. We're all sort of similar in what level of play, right?
The East
would be hard to come by W's.
We could all suck together and still be competitive.
The East grades out as the single best division in the group of 5 heading into 2021.
All right, that's. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So we're proud of that. We liked being associated with this crappy conference being. I mean, and then you look at the West; it's just hot garbage. But so we're supposed to be proud of being in the Sun Belt East now.
Not proud. You don't have to be proud, but I'm happy that we're in a competitive. I'm happy that we're included in the most the whatever you just said.
I would like a cupcake in our division.
We have it. It lives in Statesboro.
True.
It's one of the few teams we actually have a winning record against. If you have a losing record to Georgia State, you are the cupcake in the conference or in football.
You gotta save that quote. That's a good one.
There was some more crap about Lafayette. They were like, fluffing him the entire article. So that whole breakout of like likely wins, likely losses, toss-ups. Lafayette has no likely losses, and that includes them playing at Texas to open up their season.
Jeez.
I mean,
how far has Texas fallen, or how much was this guy paid by Lafayette to talk them up here?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it's just locker room banter for Texas to get focused and beat the crap out of someone.
Like I said, I looked the guy up. It looked like he looked, from what I can tell, he probably grew up in Florida. He was a Miami Dolphins fan and everything. I'm like, maybe he just couldn't get into a Florida school, so he had to go to whatever rudimentary school that would accept him, like Lafayette. I don't know.
When it wasn't Lafayette, right?
I didn't spend that much time on it. Come on. No. But I don't know. It was really strange how much love they were putting on Lafayette and the whole thing. I mean, so looking at he has Lafayette favored to beat Appalachian State, who he has his first in the East. So really, he has Lafayette as the best team in the conference right now.
I mean, they could be
I mean, you talk about the teams over the past past few years. Sure, it's been Lafayette and App State have definitely battled for the championship the most.
Arkansas State was up there though.
Arkansas State was right up there, but they're hot garbage. I think he has.
They got waterfalls, man. Don't hate. They got waterfalls.
Got to do something, man.
He's right.
Yeah, I guess right. I see it. I mean, you got Coastal, their magical season. They're not going to repeat it. You got App that's going to be up there, right? But they've fallen off a little bit. Let's be honest. They're not the same team.
Again, another team that we should have beaten this past year was App. So he has App. And I say he has. I think this is whatever that SP plus crap is. He has App State with us having a 27% chance of beating, and Coastal is having a 20% chance of beating. And I know what happened with Coastal last year. I still think we have a way better shot at 20% of beating Coastal. And I think that Appalachian State, just like Lafayette, we played them hard last year, and there's no reason why we shouldn't have beaten them other than, ourselves. So we should be in all of these games.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the game against Coastal for us is an obvious outlier, even, and
right.
We played like crap in that game, and they played awesome, right? And they were playing awesome the whole time, and so it just turns out it's an outlier. I hope it's not a matchup thing, and that they just match up better against us, But yeah, I'll call it an outlier.
They wanted that celebration. That's how they won. That's it.
It's definitely an outlier. You look at the rest of our entire schedule. There was no game that was as one-sided as that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely an outlier.
So what do you guys think? Do you think we beat Coastal next year? We get revenge against them?
We've never lost in Conway.
True.
So I mean,
it's deep in the season, right? So we've gotten through all the major games for the most part, right? It's on the tail end.
Yeah, Coastal is November 13th. So
we'll play them for the championship.
Well, we will have just played. It's in the middle of our 3-game away schedule. We're at Trash Down South, at Lafayette, and at the Beach Chickens. It's just convenient that I have nicknames for all 3 of those teams. That worked out well for me. But yeah, that's not a hard road stretch whatsoever at all. The only game we're favored in, according to ESPN, is the game in Statesboro. That really is a lousy series right there.
A 3-game skid, yeah.
All the way, Southern, Lafayette, and Coastal. That's rough.
We'll do all right.
With only 5 days to prepare for Lafayette after trying to desanitize ourselves from beautiful Eagle Creek.
It'll be a lot of fun to add on to the win streak with those 3 games.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't go undefeated in conference. With what we have returning, there's no reason why we couldn't go undefeated.
I mean, I think if we enter the conference slate, beat App to start out, you've obviously a really good chance of not screwing up against ULM, and then you got David's favorite Texas State. We could be 3-0 in the conference going into Southern.
What?
Yeah, it all comes. Yeah, yes, we could. I'm really interested. The season's going to be weird with those the out of conference games. It'll be a big test to see. I think that Army we're favored in by ESPN. So to start the season off, we get a win at Army, survive Carolina or shock the world. One of the two. I'll be happy with both. I'll be ecstatic with one of them. Charlotte, we're favored to win in that one. Auburn, since we already know we're beating Lafayette, we can just assume we're beating Auburn.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, we could start going into the bye week. We could have maybe 1 or 2 losses max.
Or we could have none and be like, hey, this is our year. Coastal was last year. This is the 2020.
Coastal who? Coastal who?
Sorry, the Beach Chickens.
Beach Chickens.
I do like Beach Chicken. That probably offends them, just like I offended someone else, App State, I think, in the basketball.
Are you sad about that? Do you care if you offend them?
Not really.
Do you say Lafayette?
In general. I'm sorry, go ahead, Tom.
No, not usually.
Big Louisiana fan. I'm the one that keeps calling them Louisiana because
Lafayette or Lala or they don't get Louisiana.
Yeah,
they get no respect. That's for sure. Like for me, at least. I'm not talking about.
I don't call them Louisiana out of respect. It just slips out of my mouth.
I just feel like they don't get respect in their own state as far as what name they want to be called, right?
I don't know that state. I try to just avoid anything that involves that state. So I don't know. I mean, you've got LSU that just is big dog there, and then everything else is just
Well, they want to be the main school in the state, right? They want to be like in our state, you have like Georgia, right? Georgia. They want to be Louisiana, and it's like, nah, dude, like you're not.
Well, there's a difference, though. That you're right, but there's a difference because. Georgia is the flagship university of the state, and LSU is and always will be the flagship university of that state.
Are they in the same university system even? Because like Monroe is University of Louisiana at Monroe, and Lafayette is University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and usually they fit that same naming standard if they're in the same university center system.
Yeah, I know nothing about it.
Why don't you know about Louisiana higher education organization? What the hell?
Do you really call it higher education when it's in that state? Really? How bad is the higher education? Higher education.
Yeah.
For those that are listening and not watching the video,
which is all of you.
No, that's not true.
Most of you. David doesn't like it when I point out our low viewership.
Oh, Dave, come on.
When we started that very first episode, I said if 6 people listen, I'd be happy. We have
success.
We have multiples of 6 that listen to this.
So. Yes, we have tens and tens of fans that download and listen. They downloaded it at least. We don't know if they listen.
We're good.
We don't know if they listen.
Hey.
Ones and ones. No, but more people that listen should check out the live broadcast. We're always on time. David makes sure of it. And we're pretty responsive to things that are going on in the chat and stuff. So joining our Facebook Live is kind of a lot of fun. I always have it up on my other screen and kind of chat back and forth.
It is fun when we have people on here asking questions, which we generally do, and we've had a few comments today. I haven't put any up on screen. But thank you to those that are watching live right now. One thing I forgot to mention was our promo code. We talked about the spring game and the little Panther pub prowl versus pub crawl going through Summerhill. I know.
I like that you explain it every time. That makes me happy.
Yeah, but our promo code this week is going to be for free shipping is Prowl.
Prowl
On merch.stateofatlanta.com. Prowl for free shipping. There you go.
I'm
Speaking of the Prowl. Isn't the pack doing some event at Statehouse Grill with like you get some drinks or something? I don't know.
Ooh.
That's a good question. I think you're right. I think you get an
ensuite tea,
a drink ticket, and a to-go food item. I think so. Or is that just for games?
That's our last stop, right, of the Prowl.
Do they have colas?
Do you want a cola?
Probably.
I don't know what the hell a cola is.
All right, whatever.
I'm curious what they do though with
Sorry,
State House Grill for the pack, right? So I think, David, aren't the events this year in the State House Grill?
Yeah, the pack events for each game versus having that big tent outside, will be in the State House Grill.
Have they been using that space for anything for the last couple of years? I mean, or is it all revamped now?
They used it that first year we were there, and then they moved everything outside. Outside. I
don't think I ever went in there.
And then they moved. It was packed. It was really packed that first year, and then they moved it inside on the bricks. But this year, I think they're trying to do a return policy, so you can come in before the game and in and out, go back out if you want to tailgate and see everything. So,
cool.
I mean, I think it'd be cool if they do it right, to have some TVs in there, playing some college football games for those night games. That might attract some fans to come early and hang out and drink and watch college football games.
Tell me more about these night games you speak of. We have night games this season?
We don't have that breaking news yet, but we know we're having some, right?
You have the sound ready just in case? It'll be right after this podcast. It'll be tomorrow they'll announce it.
Yes, it'll be tomorrow they announce. I do have the sound effect ready.
Well, don't do it.
Though. I mean, I hope they do up the State House Grill right. Throw some TVs in there, throw some games out.
I've said it before. I would, and I'll say it again. I would love for them to actually make that just once Summerhill gets built up a little bit more, make that State House Grill just a regular sports bar that's open all the time. You got to figure out some security about keeping people, since they have to come through the turnstiles to get into it, to figure out some security that way to make sure people aren't just randomly going throughout the stadium. But yeah, if they could find a way to make that just one of the other bars and restaurants in the Summerhill area, that would be really, really cool for the school, I think.
Yeah.
But on to done with football. You guys have anything more football you want to talk about?
I was going to say, instead of the State House Grill, they could call it the Blue and White, and you could run it.
Well, I do want to run the Blue and White. All I want to do is own a bar called the Blue and White and sit at the end of the bar and just drink all day long while everybody else comes in and eats and drinks and makes me money.
That's what I said, David. You could run it.
Yeah, you could run it and drink.
Did you ever watch that bar makeover show, whatever it was, on one of those channels? And the number one thing the guy says is never drink at your own bar.
Well, it was the New Yorker guy, right? Who's trying to be Gordon Ramsay, but
Gordon Ramsay. Wow, the beer's coming in. The Gordon Ramsay of bars. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I remember that show.
Yeah.
I still watched it. I'm addicted to that kind of stuff.
I watched it pretty heavily. There was a marathon. I watched several of them, and there was actually one in Tucker, Georgia, or something like that. It closed down shortly after that.
Yeah, I bet they were like, "Oh, turns out this is too hard."
Nobody wants your fancy $15 cocktails, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? This is New York?
Exactly. So a little bit of basketball news. Got a 4-star transfer from Western Kentucky. So our team is just stacked with 4 stars now or something like that. We're turning into a good basketball destination school.
I guess I'm just a little confused about what that means in basketball. It seems like maybe there are more 4-star recruits available as well than in football, because I guess there's less. There are fewer scholarships per school, so they get spread around a little more. I don't know.
But there's 3 times as many schools.
But Western Kentucky, why did he go there, and why is he leaving there? They're a decent school, but they're not tops.
Yeah, well, they made it to the NIT this past season. They lost, I think, in the quarterfinals, where I think he kind of came out he was really playing pretty hot in that quarterfinal game in the NIT. They lost it, but whatever. I think he's from Tennessee originally, so it is kind of interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
So he went to Kentucky. Maybe he just has a bourbon thing. I can't blame him there. Makes sense. Maybe it was, I don't know where in Tennessee he's from. Maybe it was somewhat close to home.
Yeah.
I don't know. But name is Jordan Rawls. Rawls.
Yeah, but anyone named Jordan, right? I mean,
Michael Jordan, done.
Well, the thing that I like about it is he's apparently a really good free throw shooter. He was like one of the tops in the nation, or at least his percentage is like right up there in the nation. So
you mean he just like he practices?
Yeah.
One would think.
I was hoping through osmosis the rest of our team could improve through him.
Well, hopefully it doesn't work the other way.
Ryan's being negative Nancy tonight, so I thought I would just let Ryan go ahead and take that negative comment right there. So I stayed away from it.
So I mean, I don't know. The whole star thing, whatever. 4 stars, great. It means something, but I was looking at his stats from the last 2 years. I mean, his minutes went down at Western Kentucky. His output was about the same for the first 2 years. He probably wasn't getting – I mean, he saw the writing on the wall, right? He's getting less playing time. He probably wanted more.
Well, there was a Western Kentucky fan that came on Panther Talk and kind of did a little write-up about him, that the fans never really understood why he was not getting as much playing time as they thought he should. They considered it a loss for their program to lose him. So I don't know if there's anything more to that at all, but they're, as this one guy said, they hope he succeeds wherever he goes, being and he's here. So we'll see. Apparently, I didn't know this at all. I didn't pay attention to it, but apparently I didn't silence my phone. Isn't that awesome? Apparently, our incoming classes this year, we're ranked 84th in the nation out of 300 teams, and first in Sun Belt. First.
But what about in the mid-major?
First.
What's our ranking?
I don't know.
Number 2, right behind.
That's a solid place to be ranked. 84, right?
Well, I mean, you compare that. Well, I'm looking at just in the conference, which I hate, but we're first in conference, which we should be in football as well. Football, we come in we apparently are happy being 5th or 6th in conference for football, but we're first in basketball. Come on, let's get this football thing going.
Football's lagging behind, man. They got to pick it up. Maybe.
What's happening right now? I feel like we all just sort of started doing something else.
I started getting text messages, and Tim started talking about something I wasn't sure of, and just everything happened all at once.
Football is lagging behind. They need to pick up the pace and catch up to basketball.
Yeah, they need to catch up to men's tennis.
Alex, you're talking about Ryan being negative. Good God.
Well, they got to drive all the way out to whatever and off Jimmy Carter or whatever, Holcomb Bridge Road.
Roswell. Yeah.
Saddle Creek, right?
Wherever whichever home courts they're playing at.
Yeah, whatever direction they're driving 30 minutes in tomorrow.
Exactly. No, yeah, I just I was surprised to see that. I mean, it makes sense. We're always the favorite in the conference, so we should be first. But then again, I also try to hate on recruiting because it's just a bunch of people saying this guy's gonna be good. We have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a 4-star. He's going to be a solid player, right? We just don't know how good of a 4-star he's going to be.
I mean, look at some of the guys we've had on our program that have been standouts that nobody ever cared about. Albert Wilson, comes to mind. Donald Russell.
Donald Russell, man. Boom.
Yeah,
but so this guy made it to a team though, and fans typically will have those kind of opinions and don't necessarily see what the coaches see, day in and day out. So, but it is refreshing that the fans do think that he could have been utilized a little bit more, because we all looked at some of those Hunter teams too, and they're like, why are you not playing more of this guy or rotating people out more?
I do like how Lanier.
No, that never happened. We never asked why we were rotating people more.
Yeah, I like how Lanier into that, right? He likes to clear the bench. Everyone's playing, right?
Everyone gets some playing time. So if you're playing for us, then you're going to get at least some minutes in there. And I like just how Georgia State is starting to become this destination program for transfer players. And we kind of talked about this, or I talked about it a little bit on Panther Talk this week. Was it's something that Coach Hunter did. I don't know how much Coach Lanier is doing this, but Coach Hunter did it, where he talked to a lot of players that he was pretty sure were not going to come to Georgia State, but just wanted to get in their ear and let them know that he was interested. So if things did not work out well for them, wherever they ended up, they already had that relationship.
Yeah.
Hey, we love you, always have loved you. We've loved you. We offered you before they did.
Yeah.
If you want to get out, come home.
Yep. I think that's exactly right. And it seems to work in basketball better than it does in other sports too. Having that kind of, just transfer in and sit a year, which sucks. I feel like none of them should sit a year, but that's fine.
And I think the NCAA is going to allow potentially all those players that are transferring a 1 year no sit.
Yeah, I think the expectation.
They haven't ruled on it yet, but
the expectation is that there's no sitting this year. So
is that why the portal's the highest co-row thing?
The co-row. The co-row does well again for us.
I think it would be great. Obviously not be the Gonzaga of the East, but maybe the mini Gonzaga of the East. I don't know. We have a real opportunity with our location, the new arena.
No, we need to be the position where Gonzaga wants to be the Georgia State
of the West.
We want to be like like the golf back when in his heyday whenever there was a PGA Tour, it was like never about who was going to come in first. It was like who's going to come in second behind Tiger. We just need everybody to be like, all right, who's going to be second place behind Georgia State? That's what we need to be. That's what we need to go for. That's what I want to be.
I'm in.
Yeah.
And that there's never any question about the conference. Like we just win conference games.
Like Boise State was in football several years ago where was that Mountain West that they're at?
We'll have some fun competitive games out of conference, and conference games are always going to be no fun to watch, boring. We win by 50 points.
We have to make our field blue just to make you have some reason to tune into the game.
That's right.
All right, we're 40 minutes in. Let's move on to other sports. Baseball. The craziest sport we've had this season, just the ups and the downs and everything. And we actually had a question from one of our Patreon members in our group chat. What do you think of this team? We had a series at App State over the weekend. We lost the first two. There's a doubleheader on, I think it was Saturday, and down in the top of the ninth and come back with like a 3-run homer, a grand slam to beat them 15-13. So like the power and the skill and the talent is there, but we just can't put a lot of wins together. We only get one of 3 over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, baseball seems to kind of do that, right? It's sort of off and on, and then especially when you're not talking about MLB, people just get like hot and cold, and it's just like seems like the way of the world.
Yeah. And baseball is all about the series, and
that's why it's part of the series. That's why it's all about the series.
And we play a lot of one-game series in college baseball. So
that's not a thing. There's no such thing as a one-game series.
Sorry, we play a lot of single games in college baseball, or even 2-game series. One thing I thought was interesting about that ninth inning win on Saturday afternoon was that 3-run homer was hit by Cameron Jones, the pitcher from Friday's game.
That's insane.
It's his first career homer.
I was going to say pitchers hitting home runs is a rarity.
I like that one. But they do those aluminum baseball bats. So
it is kind of weird looking at the schedule and the rankings. Like we stick out because we have 8 wins, right? I mean,
go ahead, Tim.
No, I was gonna say like all the other teams have double-digit win totals, and we're at 8-26.
But
we're fourth in the conference.
Going into the season, Georgia State even said themselves, their own marketing department said this was the most aggressive schedule that they've ever put together. So we knew it was going to be tough. And I guess we get a little ahead of ourselves when we won some big games against highly ranked teams there at the beginning. I remember somebody on the Sunbelt board said, I think at the time we were like 4-10 or something, 4-12 maybe. They said this is probably the scariest 4-whatever team in the conference. But since then, we still just have struggled at putting together some success against what should be inferior opponents. So
yeah, we're in the middle of the division, right? We're 2 games behind App. I don't know. I mean, App took 2 or 3 from us. We took 1 from them in dramatic fashion. Got Troy coming up with a 3-game series.
And Troy is just ranked right ahead of us in the East. So if we win the series against Troy this weekend, then we will move up 1 notch above them and not be last in the division.
How about Troy's last?
According to the Sunbelt website,
Troy's 3-6. We're 4-5.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
South Alabama is in 3rd. That's what you're talking about.
Don't trust me for anything.
I don't trust the Sunbelt website, actually.
I don't either, because they have a lot of stuff that's way wrong when I go back and look at this kind of stuff. But
I like Coastal Carolina, the baseball, the Sunbelt darlings at 2-4 in the conference. What's going on there?
Again, that's what happens. Coastal will have a phenomenal season and then come back to earth where they belong. No one likes to wear teal.
Like, Coastal's been really good at baseball for a long time, I think.
Not this year.
Not of the strong Sunbelt East, they're not.
Well, take them down a peg or two, us and our whatever.
I also want to give a shout out to Josh Smith in that 9th inning of the game against App. He got, in his second at bat of the inning, he got a grand slam. His first career, but it's his second at bat of the exact same inning. That's how big of a roll the team was on in that 9th inning. That's just great. I liked it.
I like that. I mean, who doesn't like a come from behind 9th inning? Like,
you telling me it was like the come from behind 9th inning?
I mean, wish the Braves could do that.
Sounded funny to me in my head. So we have, like you said, we have Troy this weekend. I have Troy in last place in the East. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Then Tuesday, before we record this, we play at Tech, or at home versus Tech on ESPN Plus. So go watch that while I prepare for this whole thing. Apparently, I don't prepare that well.
You're all right.
Not tonight, apparently. But the RPI scores actually have Georgia State not that bad for how the season's been going. 138 out of almost 300 teams. So
pretty good for baseball. For us.
Yeah. And we're middle of the pack for the conference. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in conference by RPI ranking.
Yeah, if you look at the rest of our slate outside, South Alabama, what do we have? We have Troy, who's below us. South Alabama is 1 game ahead of us. Coastal Carolina, who's below us. Texas State, who's below us. And then you have Little Rock out of the West, who I think is 2nd place in the West. So we can have a strong finish to the season. It's all in front of us, right?
Yeah.
Steal a series, maybe get a sweep or 2. You could be sitting pretty going into the conference tournament. I don't know if everyone makes it. I figure it's like participation. Everyone gets in. It's COVID year, so I figure everyone's in. I don't know. I don't even know how baseball tournament works in Sunbelt, but we could make some noise.
I think all the teams are getting in, but I could be totally making that up. I do that a lot. So, hopefully gets a lot better. We'll find out in the coming weeks. Softball had a couple games postponed. Got a win finally. They were on a 10-game losing streak or something like that.
I called it last week. I said they're due for a win.
They won their first game 2-0 against Arlington, and then lost the next 2 in the series. But so got a win. You're right. You willed it into being, Tim. They can all thank you for that. Nothing they did for themselves, but you did it for them.
2 wins are coming soon.
All right, 2 wins. Mark it down. Wednesday they're playing Auburn, and then they got Coastal. Coastal's 11th in the conference, so I think this is what I was thinking of. Yeah, I was thinking about when I said Troy with baseball, I was thinking about Coastal with softball. If we can take the series and against Coastal, then we'll move up a peg from last place to 11th. So yeah, hopefully it gets better. What else we got? Beach volleyball. We hosted the GSU Diggin' Duels over the weekend, but beat Southern Miss a couple of times, but then lost to South Carolina a couple of times. So
it happens.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. We're better than the landlocked. Wait, no, Mississippi has some coast, right? A little tiny bit of coast, just a little squidging, but it's not really coast, right? It's all just it's like weird marshy bullshit. Yeah.
And they have the entire Mississippi River they can call a coast.
Nah, you can't do that. Doesn't make any sense. And then South Carolina actually has some coast.
And actually, after these 2 losses to South Carolina, we are now 7-7 all time. So this was South Carolina catching up to us. David, are you thinking what I'm thinking? I really hope not.
rivalry.
Oh.
What were you thinking?
Basically,
dark things.
I don't really want to think what you think a lot of times.
That's probably fair. That's good. That's good news for everyone.
Yeah. But so we've got there's only 2 matches left. Florida Gulf Coast, who is receiving votes. We're ranked 19th still. Florida Gulf Coast we play this weekend, who is receiving votes, and North Florida was also receiving votes. So hopefully knock those 2 out to end the season well. And then they have the conference. I think it's conference championships, CCSA championships.
Where's it at?
In Huntsville. Not this weekend, but the following week. 423, 425. Is that right? Maybe the following weekend, because the games.
They should have it at a beach. I don't know.
The beach of Huntsville.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to have these types of things at beaches.
I'm trying to figure out if there's a school that actually just has their courts in Huntsville. It's a weird location to be, right?
Yeah, I don't know where Huntsville is.
It's North Alabama.
North Alabama? Yeah, no clue.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Space Camp?
Nope.
Well, you should totally watch the movie Space Camp. It's fantastic. I looked for it to show the girls like a year ago, and during the whole pandemic thing, and I could only find a YouTube stream of it. I couldn't find like any streaming service that had it.
Wait, YouTube is a streaming service. You're good.
I mean, like the Netflix and the Disney Plus and all that kind of stuff. They didn't have it on there, but YouTube just said somebody uploaded the entire movie and no one cared to take it down.
It's like it's mirrored so that their algorithms don't actually find it. Have you seen that? Where like
they flip it?
Yeah, they flip. So like whenever there's text on the screen, it's all backwards. It's all mirrored.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. No, but Huntsville's like where Space Camp, the actual NASA Space Camp is.
Right. I've been there. It's pretty
cool.
The
movie, yeah. So anyhow, on the tennis, like I said earlier, men's tennis won 2 more. They're on a 10-game win streak themselves.
Nice.
Yeah, they keep on doing well. They've only got 2 games left. They're at Middle Tennessee on Friday and host North Carolina Wilmington on Sunday, and they have their conference tournament here in Peachtree City on the same April 23rd, 25th weekend.
I can't wait for all the schools to see our home court.
Yeah. I was going to say it's basically being played in South Florida.
So that when the players get together, like, oh, so where's your campus? And we're like, get on
Key West.
Yeah, it's like UNC Wilmington came down here, and they're like, hey, so remember when you were like driving through the city of Atlanta before, like you spent 45 minutes in the car? Yeah, that's where our.
If you stop there, you're at our campus.
Yeah. Women's tennis lost a couple more of them. They're just struggling, and they play. I think their tournament is this weekend. So,
what would you think about putting our tennis courts like on the top of a parking deck?
Like the top of like in the Big Daddy movie where they were playing tennis on top. So,
I mean,
I lived at Savannah Midtown for a little while.
Hey, we are going to do a potty break, guys. Sorry about that, man.
What the hell is going on?
I was trying to hold it, but no, it wasn't happening.
I started talking about Savannah Midtown, and he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a thing. We're gonna go for a while."
I want to talk. What about Savannah? If they have courts on the parking deck roof?
Yeah, well, so it's the Publix on what is that?
Yeah, right behind the Publix and the Walgreens.
Yeah. There's a parking deck, and at the roof of that is tennis courts. We should just play there.
That would be a cooler experience for everyone, right?
Yeah. I used to ride my bike from there, and I tried to do up Cortland to campus one time, and that was a poor choice. Don't ride your bike on Cortland, boys and girls.
Is that dangerous? I'm assuming
so when you get over the highway, the off-ramp from the highway, all of a sudden you're in the middle of the street. All of a sudden you're literally in the middle of Cortland, and people on your right are coming off the highway at highway speeds, and people on the left are crazy Atlanta drivers going highway speeds on Cortland anyway, and it's not a fun situation. Don't do it.
Yeah, you want to be on the south side of Cortland when you do that. Sure.
You just want to not ride your bike on Cortland. Find another way.
Yeah, that would be the most Georgia State thing ever, though, to have tennis courts on the top of a building in the middle of downtown Atlanta. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But is there room to actually have spectators, or I don't know how many spectators come out to tennis, but is there room for something like that? Because that'd be cool.
You could just hang like off the side, like put up some rafters type of thing.
So get like the scaffolding, like the painters have, the window washers have, and
yes,
to the side. Yeah, I like it.
It'd be terrifying and amazing and exciting, exhilarating the whole time. You'd be like, "Oh my goodness, my adrenaline!"
It'd be the best view of any tennis courts of any
probably
team. Yeah. All right, cool. You're on that for next week, Ryan. Make that happen, and we'll talk about
what am I making happen?
You're going to get our tennis courts moved to the top of a building.
Yeah, good. Go for it. Go fund me.
Got it. I'm on it. You said the magic words. Now it's going to happen. I can't promise next week, but the week after.
Men's golf won first place.
Oh my goodness! I'm so excited.
In what?
In the Walford Invitational today. It happened today.
Did they play golf at the same time as the Masters?
Is Masters still playing? Isn't it over?
It was like this weekend, though, right?
The Invitational was today, so they waited for it to be over.
It was just one day of golf. Golf is over multiple days, isn't it?
Yeah, it was yesterday and today. Why are you busting my chops about this?
Well, because you know what? I know one thing about golf, and that it's not played on one day. And so, I was really just flexing.
Yeah, but they won that today, which is great because I follow these things for this, and like we're always like 8th of 12 teams or 10th of 16 teams are tied for. So this was a good win.
So men's golf brought it.
Yeah, men's golf.
Nice.
Yeah.
Women's golf 8th of 12 at Murray State. Regular season is over. And the conference tournament is this weekend. This weekend. Men's golf is the April 23rd, 25th weekend. We have it's gonna be like a championship weekend in 2 weeks where like 3 or 4 different sports are beach volleyball, men's tennis, and men's golf are all doing their conference championships 2 weeks from now. So
I'm in for some beach volleyball championship if we're in it.
In Huntsville?
No, I'm going to watch it.
I think this ESPN Plus package they should have more of these kind of games on there. They should have the beach volleyball. They should have beach volleyball right now. They're like just streaming live from Twitter now to watch the games.
Well, that's the thing. I think you put it on the school and you say, look, you can hook into it, and we will like as part of our package play whatever you want because we have unlimited bandwidth. It doesn't even matter. We can play as many games as we want or show as many games as we want. Like, just let it happen.
Yeah. You press record, we'll show whatever it is.
Yep. Meanwhile, we'll find one advertiser and we'll play their commercial 4 times in a row, every commercial break.
Yes.
They got to have someone that decides when there's a commercial break during a beach volleyball game.
Oh, yeah?
Just have like a little ticker bar at the bottom and make it like every website you go to. Well, not that you go to, Ryan. We don't want to talk about that at all. All right. I think that's all I got for this, guys.
You can't go for at least one more minute. Come on, man. I'm not satisfied yet.
So wait, does that mean wrap it now?
That's what she said?
Wrap it now.
I figured you accused me of getting weird, and I was like, you know what? Embrace it, Ryan. Embrace it. Get weird.
You either wrap it or you stop. That's all I'm saying.
So maybe it's time for last call.
Last call time.
Yeah, it's time for last call. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, guys, for being here. We're going to do last call. where we drink some more. Maybe we shouldn't drink anymore. And we talk about the episode and whatever else is going on.
Things get weird.
And I challenge Ryan to give me an episode title. He always fails miserably.
I don't always fail. There's a couple of good ones out there.
We didn't use any of those, though.
We did. 100%.
Our last call is available on our Patreon page, free to everyone, patreon.com/State of Atlanta, free on Friday mornings, and then available to everyone, all our patrons, immediately. $3 a month, get our private group chat, get the last call early access, get discounts on the merch on the store, and whatever else we come up with. But thanks everybody for listening. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.